Welcome to another video on Bradley TV. I am Mr. Bradley and this is Mrs. Bradley.
What's up, y'all?
My beautiful wife. We have a great video coming to you guys today, but before we get into the video, want to make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you also hit that big red button down here at the bottom, that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Also, don't forget to share this video so somebody else can share this video, so somebody else can share this video. Got a lot of good stuff coming to you guys today. This topic is about money, 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 money. So yeah, anyway, we are going to talk about money.
Yeah, so we're just gonna let you guys know kind of how we got to where we are as far as our finances as a couple goes. We're gonna talk a little bit about where we were in the beginning of our relationship when we first got together to when we got married and to now where we are now, and just how we handle our finances as a couple. It's probably our #1 question that we get is, how do we handle our finances as a couple? I know this is a hot topic when it comes to people, like even our friends. Okay, this is a hot topic when it comes to people as far as how they split up their money and who pays the bills and who pays what bills. Just a really hot topic, so we wanted to hit on it for you guys.
All of our friends, literally, we have sit down conversations with our friends all the time when they come over to just hang out. Maybe her friends, my friends, our friends. Most of the time it's a couple things and they all say the same thing. I don't know how you guys do it. Like I don't think that would work for us, and it may not, but the way we got here, it was not easy. It did not start off the way that it is now, this fluent train that we run as far as our money together goes. So
obviously we have separate accounts. When we moved in together, we were engaged. We were not married, we were engaged. And so we moved in together, and he had his accounts that he had in the relationship, his one bank account. I had my one bank account that I had before we met, and so we moved in together. I, at that time, was just out of college. I was like less than a year out of, maybe a little over a year when we moved in together, a little over a year out of college. He had been in the workforce for a little bit, but when I got out of college, I got a pretty good job and I was making a little more than he was making. So the way we split up our bills was I paid the rent and he paid the rest of the bills.
Did this whole, like she said, she paid the rent, I paid the bills thing, and yeah.
We got into arguments all the time. Like all the time over all types of stuff, like things that needed to be paid and how we wanted to pay them, who had the most money after all the bills were paid. Like we got into those type of arguments all of the time.
I say this, we almost lost our relationship over the amount of arguments we were having as far as money goes at that point when we were living in that apartment together.
Not only were we having issues and arguments about money though, we were also having arguments because I would be like, okay, well, let's just go out to eat. And he'd be like, I don't have any money. And I'm like, well, I have money, let's go out to eat. And he would still not want to go out to eat because he's like, I just don't want you always paying. And I'm like, so we got to sit in the house because you ain't got no money? Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm a prideful guy. I'm a very prideful dude. I don't like handouts. I don't like my woman to take care of me. I didn't like anything. So I really struggled. That's a whole nother video, but I really struggled with the fact that she made more money than me. But I lived it. We had, like I said, constant arguments about money, who's like literally to the point of what kind of paper towels. Like I bought a certain kind of paper towels because that's what I could afford. She didn't want those paper towels, but I was like, well, you need to buy the paper towels you want with your money then. Like we were having arguments like that, which are obviously not healthy for any relationship.
Not at all. Fast forward to like right before our wedding. It was maybe a month before our wedding.
2 months.
Like 2 months?
2 months before our wedding.
So at this time we had already been paying for all of our wedding stuff. Things that we had to pay for, we were basically splitting up between who had the extra money, to be quite honest. And maybe 2 months before our wedding, we decided to put our money together in one bank account. We said, we're gonna be married, we should put this money together, and you know, I think everything needs to come out of one bank account. There's no reason that I have extra money and he doesn't have any extra money once the bills are paid, or vice versa. There's no reason that should be happening. Everything should come out of one pot. And he agreed, and that's what we did.
In the beginning, it started off, I don't want to say we had some petty conversations, but we would have, like, I remember a phone call I made to her about buying a pair of shoes. Like, hey, I'm about to, we had the conversation, it was called the significant amount of money. I'm about to spend a significant amount of money phone call that we said that we needed to designate to each other. Whenever we were about to spend over basically like anything over $150, we needed to make a phone call to let the other person know, like, hey, I'm about to make a pretty significant purchase.
The beginning was pretty hard, and I think it was hard because, one, we didn't have much money. Like, we honestly didn't have much extra money. We were just starting out in life and just starting out together, so we really didn't have much extra money. And then on top of that, you know, I had my own separate bank account for as long as I can remember. He had his own separate bank account. So putting all that money together and giving another person complete access to all of your money is rough. It is very rough. It's hard to do. It's hard to let go of that control. But in my mind, I felt like that was very important because, again, we're a union. We're one.
Now we fast forward. We've moved out of the 1-bedroom apartment. We've moved out of the 3-bedroom, what you want to call it, townhouse we were living in. We moved into a house. We're living in a house. We're married. We have a bundle of joy on the way. We have decided that we need to start saving money. Oh my God. This was probably a 3-year in the making conversation, literally to the point where we had a shoebox that we would put like $20 in when we first started living together, and that, let's just say that shoebox really never got over $200 in it at any point.
I don't even think it got $200 in it.
We opened this new bank account and we were like, you know what? This is it. We are saving money. Saving money starts now. So that was our first time we had our joint account, and then we had a real savings account that we were committed that we were going to put money into this savings account every 2 weeks, and no matter what, we were not going to touch it.
At that point, we also had a plan that we wanted to purchase a home within the next, I think at that time it was like 3 years. We wanted to have a home purchased, and so we got really serious about that. We sat down and had a conversation, and that was in the plan. To be honest, I don't know if I truly believed we would have been able to purchase a home just because of our past financial issues, and just the fact that at this point we still didn't have much money. Like, we were still struggling. We got that bank account, and at first I think we were putting $100 a month in it.
It was like $50 a paycheck.
Yeah, so we were putting $100
like combined, not $50 my paycheck, $50 her paycheck. Like, our joint account, we put $50 into this savings account. Like,
it was like that was all we had. And we say that just to say, just because you don't have much money at that point doesn't mean that you can't start saving. Whether it's $10, $15, $20, make sure you save something, because things come up all of the time that you will need money for.
I think the saying is pay yourself. That was always
pay yourself first.
Yeah, pay yourself first. You have to pay yourself. You pay AT&T, you pay DirecTV, you pay Time Warner, whoever you pay bills to, you pay them. So pay yourself also. We did this, and then I lose my job.
You did lose your job, didn't you?
I lost my job.
Lost his job while we had a 13-month-old and a newborn at that.
I literally came home and she was on maternity leave. I came home. I had left work at about 6:30 in the morning. I walked back in the door at 9:40, and she like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I just lost my job.
But what did I say to you?
We're gonna be all right.
I was like, you don't like that job anyway, so what you care for? We'll be fine.
And we figured it out. And we figured it out. But I remember we laid in the bed one night and I told her what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And she looked at me and told me where she wanted to be and what she wanted to do. And boom, you've transferred literally into that next 2 months from then. And it was happening. Money was coming At this point, I started making a little more money than she did. The tables turned a little bit. I started making a little more money than she was. And we were allotted the opportunity to really start saving money. Like legitimately saving money. Like we put a plan into action. Now it's like, okay, you're making this money. You found this job that you're good at. Let's get serious.
If you guys haven't seen our how we saved 25K in a year, or how we saved the 10,000 in 6 months, we made both of those videos I think in 2017. I think one was in 2016 and one was in 2017. I will link them at the bottom of this video so you guys can go ahead and check those videos out. And it really tells you guys how we buckled down and saved that money in a very short amount of time. And saving that money, that afforded us to be able to have money saved up for a down payment for our first home, which we are now in. So that's like our financial history, I guess, as a couple. Things have not always been easy, but hopefully that story was a bit inspirational for you, to let you know just because you're in one place one year doesn't mean that things can't transform and turn around and you can be in a completely different place the next year.
Now at this point we have a main checking account that we use, we have a savings account that we use, and then at that point we created what we call a
periodic bills account.
Periodic bills account. Basically, we had this. You got things like car insurance, water bills, things of that nature that just they don't come up every month, but you know they're coming. So
that's what most people like to call sinking funds. So that's what we call it, periodic bills, but it's the same thing as sinking funds. We keep that in a separate account from our main checking account.
Yep. And then from that, we actually decided, okay, well, now we got this account for our periodic bills. We have this account for strictly saving money. We have this account for us, what we call, that we pay our bills out of and that we spend out of. Now, you know what? What else is something that we have that comes up that we need to do every year? Vacation. No, all families, for the most part, vacation, and you need to be ready for vacation. You can't just be like, oh, let me work a bunch and just take this money to vacation. No, we actually set up a vacation savings account that we have a separate amount of money that comes out of our checks and goes strictly into our vacation account.
Which is another great point when you said it comes straight out of our checks. That's a great tip, is to have the money automatically direct deposited from your paycheck to those different accounts if you have your accounts split up. If you can't see the money, you'll forget about it and you won't touch it. It won't even be in your mind. So for my paycheck, I have money going straight into that periodic bills or sinking funds account, and then we have money going straight into the vacation account and money going straight into our
savings account.
I couldn't think. And money going straight into our savings account. So that money is already gone. So the money that actually gets deposited into our main checking account is a super small amount. But that money, we don't even want to see that money. We want it to go straight into that vacation account, straight into that periodic bills or sinking funds account, straight into our savings account, so we never see it and it never even exists to us. Another account that we also have is for our grocery bills. So we put some money into another bank account for our grocery money, and that way anytime we need to go to the grocery store, we just grab that debit card and swipe that debit card instead of out of our main checking account. So we have altogether five bank accounts that we have that our money is going into and that we use for separate things. And it really helps us because I am a spender, okay? So I have to watch it, and if the money is there, I want to spend it. Like, it burns a hole in my pocket, okay? Or in my bank account, I should say. If it's there, I have a tendency to spend. So getting the money out of the main checking account and putting it into these different places is really helpful.
So for me, I had to understand that that's how she kind of operated. For me, I don't really care where it sits, but I've come to an understanding that she needs to not see it in the joint, what we call it the joint / main account. So she needs to not see it there, and if it's not there, then she won't spend it. And I'm fine, let's get it all out of there. But that's kind of what works for us. We have these numerous different accounts off of one account. It's all off of pretty much off of one account, and the bank that we use allows you to make basically as many bank accounts as you want to off of your main account, and you're allowed to disperse your money throughout those accounts as wanted, and it really works for us. Not saying it's gonna work for you, but that's what works for us. So that's how we have gotten from the issues that we've started. We literally went from not knowing how to even come to an understanding on how money needs to be spent to the point where we are now.
And I think we're in a really good place. Obviously, we want to continue to move forward, and we want to get in an even better place. So hopefully we'll be making an updated version of this video next year, and we'll be talking about how we're saving $10,000 a month versus in 6 months. Maybe that won't happen, but maybe it will, who knows. So we're always trying to move forward, and we're always just trying to get better. And if things don't work for you, say you try something and it doesn't work, then switch it around. So that's what we're always talking about, and we're always doing. We'll try something. If it doesn't work, then we switch it around until we find the thing that does work. And right now what we're doing is working.
So that is going to do it for this video. I hope you got some good insight. Hope you got some good information. Hopefully you took something from this video that you can use in your relationship, or the way that you decide to budget money, or the way that you decide to disperse your money. However, I hope you got something from this video. Don't forget to like and thumbs up this video. Also, don't forget to share this video so somebody else can share this video. And last but not least, definitely do not forget to hit that red subscribe button right down there at the bottom. We appreciate you guys, and until the next video, this is Bradley TV checking out. Peace.